All right, so welcome to the Short Vol Show. My name is David Lincoln. Um, we had a volatility event yesterday, and having to do, I think, with political stuff going on in the United States, quite possibly. Either way, um, stuff popped. And if we take a look at the VIX here, if I disappear for a sec, we can take a look at the VIX, and we can see the pop. Now, there was stuff also going on, of course, yesterday in some of the technicals that people look at, but you can see that spike to 1845. Boom. Quite the spiky spike. Now, fortunately, our position didn't have a big delta to it to the short side currently. We were pretty locked into that whole condor for the position. So I was listening back to a video I made yesterday. I was making a video, and I'm used to live streaming. That's kind of my thing lately. And so when I try to make videos that aren't live streamed, I don't do a great job. There's lots of pauses. There's lots of weird sounds coming out of my mouth that I don't want to be coming out of my mouth and all this other stuff. But whatever. So I got my Airy hat on. Do you guys know what Airy is? Airy makes the cameras that most of those Netflix TV shows that you've liked in the last 5 years were shot on. They really made the best image quality for a digital video camera in the last like 10 or 15 years. I don't know if they're being replaced now, but they certainly, I think probably more of you have heard of Red cameras, but the Airy Alexa is what like Netflix and stuff has been using for a while. Unfortunately, it's a little out of my price range right now, but we can all dream. So we had the volatility spike yesterday, and what do we do to the position? Well, we kind of scrambled a little bit. Yesterday, I ended up switching things over to like that bullseye thing, and so we ended the day yesterday just short 2 calls. We ended the day short the 26 calls with 10 days to go. So if we pull, we came in short 2 of the 4 October 26 calls, but I felt like I wanted to get more aggressive and kind of lean into this spike. I think this is an opportunity to get short, of course, with the caveat that we leave plenty of time to be wrong and for another spike to happen in between. But I'm still kind of on this November, so 51 days out, and whereas before we were interested in the 24 and 28 strikes, now we kind of rolled things up 2 strikes. So that gives us more room, right? Instead of having this to be below 24 to be totally in the money at the end of November expiration, now we set it up so it only has to be below 26. And we're right around 26 now in the middle of the spike. So that seemed like a reasonable thing. And so I tried to sell another $4. This time it was a call spread. It could have been a put. I could have been buying a put spread or selling a call spread. As we talked about before, those things are pretty much the same thing. And so I was looking at the November 26/30 call spread this morning. And I really wish I had the camera on when I was doing this, because it was these guys did not want to buy this call spread from me. The UVXY was trading right around here, 26.60 or something, and the midpoint for this call spread was around 140. And I tried to offer the thing at 135, nothing. 130, no nibbles whatsoever. They immediately took it down to like 125 as the midpoint. I mean, this thing was just not, they were not interested in buying this, even with me giving up like 20, 30 cents off the midpoint, like offering this below the midpoint by like 20 cents. They just didn't want to buy this. So I was like, I didn't want to just completely hit the bid on this and just give up every bit of edge. I mean, it's just not worth it to me at a certain price. But I was looking to sell the 2630 call spread at like $1.40. Buying the put spread, paying like $2.60, something like that. Remember, originally when we put that first trade on, we were buying the November 28-24 put spread, paying $2.31. I was looking to pay $2.60 for the 2630 put spread, or conversely sell the call spread at $1.40. And these guys do not want to trade at all. They're like, the only way they're going to trade with you in UVXY right now is if you give up a ton of edge, and it's really frustrating. So I was offering the spread, and then UVXY rallied like 40 cents, and they still weren't buying the spread from me. I had a resting offer. I was resting offer around like 135 at 135, and it rallied like another 40 cents, and they still wouldn't lift it. And so I just kept messing around with it for a while, and then finally, trying to put offers in where I was giving up a little edge to put this on, but not so much that it would kill the trade. So finally, I got it partially filled. I sold a 12 lot at 129. I was trying to. UVXY came back down again. It was like, oh boy, here we go. Now I'm gonna miss this trade completely because UVXY is tanking lower. And so, trying to put a trade on UVXY though has been really, really difficult, and it's frustrating as heck. But I finally got filled selling 19 of these November 26-30 spreads. I sold 12 of them at $1.29 and 7 of them at $1.28. And it was like pulling teeth with these guys to buy the spread for me. Even with UVXY looking strong, it looks like it's the end of the world. This thing's bid up. It's 27 bid, and they still just won't buy this call vertical from me. I'm offering them some deltas. I'm offering them a lifeline here with this thing shooting up, and they just won't buy it from me. But anyways, so just to kind of go over my thought process here, we came into this spike. I think we were short 100 deltas. We did get a nice move up, and I'm like, well, all right, let's get short then. Let's get shorter than 100 deltas. So on the way down, this is an opportunity to make money. If, I don't think it's that shocking to the world that the president was, impeachment hearings have begun against the president. And it's going to be a long, drawn-out process that's going to probably go beyond November expiration. But anyways, you can't use your analysis of a single news story as your basis for a trade, especially for like duration, strike selection, all this other stuff. I'm just kind of in this scenario that, I did have a bet on that UVXY needed to be between 24 and 18. I get this move up. It gives me the opportunity to kind of roll that bet up 2 strikes. So now instead of UVXY needing to be 24 or below, now it needs to be 26 or below. And I still have 51 days, so almost 2 months. We've gotten a little pop. I think it's not very hard for this to go down 60 cents in the next 51 days. And like I said, it's a better bet than we had on a week ago, because we've given ourselves $2 more running room. So this is a real set it and forget it trade here. We are short 19 of the 26-30 call verticals in November and UVXY. And obviously, different people are going to have different opinions. I saw another person who I respect a lot who was saying, like, look, this is not time to short volatility. This is time to get out of any shorts and be risk off. And, that's different traders are going to have different opinions on things. It's just the way it is. You can be, buddies with somebody and have totally different opinions than them. I remember as a market maker, we had a couple different risk managers we could talk to. And depending on what trade you wanted to put on, you go to the risk manager that would agree with it. Some risk managers, were like perma bears. Others were bullish. Others like to sell premium. Others like to buy it. And so depending on which trade you wanted to put on, you go to the guy who you thought, it's kind of like if you're a district attorney trying to find a judge. You go to the judge who you think will work best for you. Same thing with risk managers. So this is a set it and forget it position. I like it. I do have a delta here. It looks like we're short 245 deltas, and I'm looking to ride this back down to normalcy. We are still in contango. This term structure doesn't seem that freaked out. We didn't go in. I don't know if we went to we might have gone into backwardation slightly, but I don't think we even did. There's a buck between spot and the front month future now, and we are still in contango. So the smoke, this can just kind of chill out, and we've got a great trade on here, I believe. And like I said, I did initially put the bullseye thing on. I was short 2 calls, but I feel like this is getting more aggressive than that, and really taking a short vol position here with the recent pop. So showing 4.3% contango, and as I said a few seconds ago, $1.05 now between spot and the M1 future. Much less, of course, than the 270 around expiration or the recent over $2. But we did notice over the last couple of days that $2 became 185. Well, spot was right next to the M1 future yesterday, and now we've got a little buck and a little change away. So we'll see what happens moving forward. That's where the position is. Good luck to all you out there in your trading, and I'll talk to you soon.